Let me let you on into a secret. If you feel like you are emotional lately or an emotional person in general, and at the same time you feel like something is up with your emotions, you cannot quite connect with other people or with yourself, or it seems like something is too overwhelming in a way, let me tell you a secret. The time in my life when I was the most emotional I ever been in my life, at the same time, it was the time that I couldn't process my emotions. And that might seem paradoxical, but it makes total sense from a psychological perspective. Because if you think that emotions need to be expressed, emotions are energy in your body and they need to move and not stay stagnant. Most people who cannot process their emotions, who cannot let them move in a healthy and constructive way, are at the same time the same people who are leaking this energy out of them, who appear to be the most emotional. Not because they cannot do, that's a skill. You can acquire that at any point in your life if you decide to do so. That's why most people who seem more emotional are at the same time the people who cannot process their emotions. So usually we are speaking of highly analytical people and intellectualizers. And I know, not because I just started this, I know because I've been there. I've been such an intellectualizer all of my life, just before 4 years ago when everything changed for me because of the deep inner work that I started doing. And at the same time, I was the most emotional I've ever been because I couldn't process my emotions. I was chronically dysregulated. I didn't know how to regulate myself. I didn't know how to express in a healthy way my emotions. At the same time, I was in my head all the time. I was intellectualizing. So, of course, the energy was leaking from me. I was too emotional. Not in a way of criticizing myself. I was emotional in the sense of my emotions were leaking. And maybe I was trauma dumping, or because I couldn't express myself in a healthy way, I would unconsciously, because that happens on an unconscious level, leak my energy, my emotions, my unmet needs and all that kind of stuff in unhealthy and unconstructive ways. I hope that makes sense, and let me know if you're going through this right now. I would love to know.